Injuries are part of the process. If you move, you get hurt. If you don't move, you get hurt. That's how the human body works. You can't avoid pain. The only question is, what kind of pain are you choosing? The pain of growth or the pain of decay? I would rather deal with the pain that comes from training, from exploring, and from moving, rather than the pain that comes from neglect, from sitting still, and from fear. Because at least when you get injured through movement, you know that you are building something strong. You're adapting. You're strengthening the whole system. When you get injured through stillness, you are just simply watching yourself fall apart. So today, I want to break down the entire conversation around injuries, why they happen, how to deal with them, how to train with and around them, and how to build a body and a mindset that doesn't crumble the moment the pain shows up. Most people think that training is about building muscle or improving performance, but training is really about building resilience. And resilience means being able to move through pain, not just around it, and definitely not avoiding it. Injuries are never random. They are not bad luck. They are not punishment. They are simply feedback. Most people will say, I just tweaked my back randomly, or I stepped wrong, or I don't even know what happened. But if we zoom out, it's always predictable. Your body didn't fail you. You failed to prepare your body. You've been moving in the same narrow patterns over and over again. The same machines, the same planes, the same comfort zones. And the moment that something unpredictable happens, the system doesn't know how to respond. And that's not an accident. That is lack of exposure. That is neglect. Because the body adapts to whatever it is trained for. If you only train in straight lines, front to back, up and down, side to side, your body gets really good at straight lines. But the moment that you twist, rotate, reach, or land unevenly, boom, something goes. You've built a machine that's strong in 2D, but fragile in 3D. Let me give you some examples. You squat, deadlift, bench press all in one controlled plane. Then one day you pick up a box from the ground, or you turn too fast, or you catch yourself from falling and your back spasms. Not because your back is weak, but because you have never trained it to move dynamically and out of alignment. You've trained it to brace, to hold tension, to lift heavy, but not to adapt. Or say your knees, the same story. People blame running, jumping, or walking up the stairs. But the issue isn't the activity, it is your lack of preparation for it. You've never trained your knees to handle deceleration, rotation, or shock absorption. You've spent years avoiding deep ranges. You've been doing half squats, shallow lunges, always staying in your comfort zone. So when life forces you deeper, you pay the price. Or let's take the shoulders, one of the most common problem areas for people. You bench press, you do shoulder press, maybe you do some pull downs, and you think that your shoulders are strong. But you've never hung, you've never loaded overhead properly, you've never rotated under control. So the moment that you throw something or reach behind you or fall onto your arm, the system breaks. It's not random. It's not your age. It is neglect. There are no dangerous movements, only dangerously unprepared bodies. Your body is not fragile. It is untrained in the places that matter most. Every time you avoid an uncomfortable range, every time you skip deep flexion or rotation or end range work, you are leaving holes in the system. And eventually, life will expose those holes for you. That's why I always say the injury itself isn't the problem. The lack of preparation is. The injury is a message. Your body is saying, this area is underdeveloped. Build me. So stop treating injuries like interruptions. Start treating them like information. They are showing you where your next level of training should go. Okay, so really quick, I want to share a resource with you that I have available if you are currently feeling injured, stiff, broken. If you're a professional athlete looking to improve your mobility, my mobility toolkit is currently helping over 50,000 people in 40 plus countries, people ranging from all walks of life, complete beginners, professional athletes, men and women in their 70s and 80s. If you have 15 minutes to spare, this will work for you and it's going to produce dramatic results within weeks. Check it out. Prehab and rehab. People love to separate them, but they are the same process. One happens before you get hurt, one happens after you get hurt. But the goal is identical: to build capacity, awareness, and confidence in your movement. Prehab is what you do proactively, exploring ranges, loading joints, strengthening connective tissues, teaching your nervous system to trust different positions. Rehab is what you do reactively, when something's gone wrong and you are rebuilding that same trust. The principle doesn't change. If you train well with intention, variability, and awareness, you are constantly doing both. Every time that you hang, crawl, twist, hinge, roll, move laterally, go upside down, you are bulletproofing your body and your joints. The people who skip that, who only train linear movements or sit on machines or train in isolation, might look strong, but they are brittle. They are one step, one twist, one awkward position away from a setback and a chronic injury. That's why movement variety is everything, because variety equals adaptability, and adaptability equals durability. Prehab isn't about fancy tools or protocols. It's about showing your body what life looks like before life shows you. Pain is misunderstood. It's not damage, it's a signal. It's the body's way of communicating uncertainty. You can have pain with no structural issue, and you can have structural issue with no pain. That's been proven over and over again. MRI studies show people walking around with herniated discs, torn rotator cuffs, and zero pain, and others with perfect scans living in chronic discomfort. Pain is not a picture of what is happening in your tissues. It's the story your nervous system is telling about it. It's a proactive mechanism. The body says, we are not confident here. I'm going to send you a signal to back off. But if you overreact to that signal, if you panic, catastrophize, rest for weeks, you reinforce the fear. Your nervous system learns. This position is dangerous. And that's how you create chronic pain. The real rehab isn't just tissue work, it's retraining the brain. You have to teach your nervous system that it is safe again. That's why education really matters. When you understand pain, you stop reacting emotionally. You stop seeing yourself as fragile. You start responding logically. Pain under a 5 or 6 out of 10, move through it. That's exposure therapy. You are desensitizing the system. You are proving to your body that it can handle it. Rest doesn't teach safety, it teaches avoidance. Movement teaches safety. That's why movement is medicine, because it is the only thing that can recalibrate the system. When pain shows up, your job isn't to stop, it's to understand. Ask questions. What triggered it? What range caused this? What movement pattern am I missing? And then get back to work. You don't need to push through pain blindly. You need to work with it. Because pain is feedback. Use it as data. If it's sharp and worsening, back off. If it's mild, dull, and stable, keep moving. That's how you teach your nervous system that it is okay. You want to know what heals faster than any massage or supplement? Confidence. Confidence in movement, confidence in load, confidence in your own body again. When you stop fearing movement, the body adapts really, really fast. And that's why athletes recover better than the average person. Because they don't overreact, they trust the process. They understand that the body heals through stress, not avoidance. Example, you've got tendon pain. You don't rest it for months, you load it. Eccentrically, slowly, with control, you make it stronger through the very stress that once hurt it. That's what real healing looks like. When you get hurt, you don't stop training. You adapt. Your shoulders irritated, train your lower body. Your knees inflamed, train your upper body. Your back's feeling tight, train mobility, train your breath, train your core. You keep the rhythm alive because rhythm is recovery. The body heals faster when it is moving. Circulation, hormones, tissue remodeling, all of it improves through load and motion. Motion is lotion. Stopping completely is the worst thing that you can do. That's when you spiral, physically and mentally. Movement doesn't just heal the body, it keeps your mind strong and resilient. It keeps you in the game. So when you're injured, you train around it until you can train through it. You never stop moving completely. You stay in the arena. Stress is not the enemy. It is the reason that you grow. Every time you lift, stretch, adapt, or recover, it's the stress that drives the change. Stress is information. It tells the body, This is the new standard. That's how you build resilience, not through comfort, through challenge, and through discomfort. You want a body that doesn't break? Then expose it to everything. The twist, the bend, the hang, the crawl, the sprint. Learn to fail gracefully. Learn to recover fast. Because fragility isn't a lack of rest, it is a lack of exposure. You need to stop chasing the perfect training conditions. You need to stop avoiding the hard stuff. You need to expose yourself because the body that can handle more stress lives longer, moves better, and performs harder. Movement is the best form of medicine that you will ever have. It lubricates your joints, it strengthens your connective tissue, it calms your nervous system, it balances your hormones, it sharpens your mind. It is free, it is available, and it is the foundation of longevity. If you're not moving, you are decaying. That's not dramatic, that is biology. You don't age because of time, you age because of neglect. Because you stopped exploring, because you stopped adapting. The more you move, the longer you last. That's why the best training plan isn't about chasing PRs or aesthetics or muscle. It's about building adaptability because adaptable bodies don't break. Injuries will happen. That's not failure, that's feedback. But your response determines everything. You can react like most people do with fear, rest, frustration, massage, physios, chiros, or you can respond like a leader. Leaders don't fear pain, they use it. They ask, what is this teaching me? They adjust, they adapt, they grow because every injury shows you where you are lacking and gives you the chance to build it back up. So stop hiding behind recovery, stop waiting until it's perfect, stop acting like pain means stop. Pain means pay attention. Train smarter, move deeper, build awareness. You don't get resilient by avoiding discomfort. You get resilient by working through it. If you move, you'll get hurt. If you don't move, you'll decay. So choose your pain wisely. Because resilience is not built in comfort, it is built in motion. Motion is lotion. Get after yours today.